How to find your unique art style. This is a guide for artists feeling stuck. In this video today, I'm going to touch on some topics. How to let go of perfection, exploring influences without copying, and daily habits that build your style. Also, how to know when you found it, and some words of encouragement from a professional artist who has been there. So let's dive in. Unique art style. What is that really? Well, my take on it is really your thumbprint. It's like a fingerprint. It's your signature art style. And I think a lot of artists get really confused about what this is. But in reality, this is basically how you paint. The tools that you use and how you apply whatever medium that you're using to your surface, whether it's canvas, paper, board, or if you're working three-dimensional like clay and sculpting. So it's kind of that signature look, but I think a lot of people get it confused with like subject and all kinds of other complicated things. So I want to dive in and I want to give you some tips on how you can start building your unique style and help you navigate this as an artist. First thing, you've got to try and let go of perfection. Being perfect is not a signature style, and it's not really a word that we like to use in the industry because style, personal style, is like personal taste, and you're not going to really appeal to everybody with your art style. So you need to be comfortable with who you are as an artist, and I think the first step in doing that is letting go of perfection. Start having fun again and explore what you love about art. I think one of the mistakes I made was really comparing myself to other artists and trying to be like them. And this was in my earlier stage. I was looking at artists who were successful and trying to find how I can mimic them. So that's gonna go into my next topic and how we're gonna navigate that or tip, and that's exploring influences without copying. And let me give you some tips on how you can do that, because we all use influences to get us inspired. It is who we are as human beings and definitely who we are as artists. Now, I think every artist wants to have that unique quality that they feel they can claim for themselves, saying, I discovered that. Where in fact, we are visual artists. We are getting influences from so many things around us that the way that we implement it into our art is unique. But if you think that you're the only one that ever thought of what you're doing, you need to rethink that. Unique style is not about that, okay? It's how you can put a stamp on your artwork to make people enjoy and love it. And you know what? In all honesty, if you love what you're doing, and you know how to create marketable art, you are going to be one step ahead of that. How we can explore influences without copying is start getting inspired. Find artists that you admire their work and see what that unique quality is in their art. If you look at a retrospect of their artwork, what is it that sets them apart? What is it? What's that one thing that makes you recognize that it's their art? There's a lot of things that can become in factor for that. One is color choice. Are you selecting particular colors? Some artists have a signature look because it's the colors that they choose, and they tend to use those colors in their artwork. I know for myself, I do have a feminine touch and quality to my artwork, and I love using a lot of pinks. I implement it into a lot of my collections. A lot of my holiday collections too. Whenever I'm doing Christmas collections, I always stick pink in there. I'm not like a big fan of the red, green traditional colors, but I know that it's something that's very distinctive and popular within that holiday niche. So if I have to incorporate that, I'll throw a little bit of Yvette flair by adding some pinks just to bring it maybe a little more contemporary. So color can have a big factor in it, but also it could be just the tools that the artist is using. Particular paint brushes, or if they're using palette knives or spray paint, the medium and the tools play a big part. So I think a lot of artists want to try so many different things, which is a beautiful thing. That's going to help you discover. But actually playing around and then finding your favorites and maybe sticking with it for a while you practice to develop that look, because it definitely has a lot to play with how your medium ends up on that canvas. So explore those artists that you love. Find out what is it, how come I'm recognizing, is it the way they do their flowers, or is it the way they, paint their animals? Maybe they are a subject kind of niche artist and they do like graffiti art and that's what they're known for. There is so many different factors. So you got to find what's really important to you and use that to help develop your style. Okay. The next thing is like daily habits that can help you build your style. I get asked this a lot with my students, and I have this motto, like painting every day will help you grow as an artist. And the only way to grow and develop your style is if you are painting regularly. Even if you can't get in your studio and create a masterpiece every day, just playing around every day can make a huge difference. Even if it's 15 minutes and you're just exploring a different color or a different brush, or even if you're doodling. But the more that you create, the more it sparks inspiration, and this is where you get ideas. And I'm just going to go back to the letting go of perfection thing, because what I mean by this is you've got to allow yourself to play and practice and make mistakes to actually start achieving your style. So if you think that a style is going to come overnight, you are sadly mistaken. Some artists take years. Hey, I was a professional artist. I've been a professional artist for 23 years now. And my style has greatly developed even just in the last 5 years. So even though my signature pieces that got me in the industry 23 years ago, I had a broad collection, my art has changed dramatically since then. And I actually feel like I've only really found my signature style in the last 5 years. So don't think that you have to start like putting your artwork out there only when you've found this signature style, because in all honesty, it's going to grow and develop. How do you know when you found it? You know when you found it because it's going to feel right. If you love the way you're creating and you can find a lot of different subject or different colors that you can use that are still kind of true to that style, you'll know when it comes. What'll happen is you can start creating, say you like abstract painting and you're creating abstract paintings, and then one day you decide, oh, I want to do florals. You can do that. I think a lot of artists think, oh, I got to stick to abstract because maybe that's what I've known at, or that's what I've started. No, you take how you created your abstracts. Maybe you're using that in the background of your florals, so you implement it. This is how artists grow and develop. But you will know because it'll feel right. You will love the way you paint, you will love the tools that you're using, and you will love the colors and the medium that you're using. So it will come gradually. Okay, here's my final words of encouragement. Speaking from an artist who have been on a roller coaster ride for 23 years, Everything will come naturally as long as you are doing your daily practice. Developing a style is not something that can be forced. It will grow naturally. Some artists, they might develop it in a year. Some artists might take 5-10 years. And I don't want that to encourage you, because some of the most successful artists out there have developed and changed their style over decades. Think of Picasso or Baroque. Like, we've all, here I am trying to compare myself to Picasso or Baroque. No, I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is, if you look at their earlier works or you look at a retrospect, you will see the discoveries that they've made. They started with line drawing and then shapes, and then it was like solid colors implemented. Then they started doing shading. But the way that they stylized their art never changed. That was their signature look. But they implemented new styles and techniques. So I want you to give yourself a little bit of a break and start enjoying the process of creating art, and remember why you fell in love with doing it in the first place. That's the only thing that's going to keep you kicking. And like I always say, get your support team. You need your cheerleaders, you need your encouragement, you need your positive group that's gonna sit there and pick you up when times are the hardest, because we've all been there. Being an artist is like a roller coaster, but who doesn't love roller coasters, right? It's a fun ride. There's highs and lows, just like life. So keep trucking away, and that unique art style is going to come. You just have to have a little bit of patience. Hey, if you like these tips and you want to learn more, make sure you subscribe and check out some of the links below, because I have a lot more tips that can help you and give you encouragement, and maybe check out some of my art courses. Make sure you hit that bell too so you get notifications when I upload new tips, and I'll see you next time.